Hello Scorpios, welcome to your April 2016 tarot reading. One of the first thing that I was sensing for you is I feel for a lot of you, you were recently or are still dealing with somebody, and I feel like there is a very strong emotional tie with this person, and I feel almost as well if that you've known them for quite some time. So it's not one of those things where the situation is easy to extract yourself from or to get a clean break. This can be family members, but I feel for a lot of you it could be a friend or more of a romantic relationship. I feel like the other person is making it all about them. So it's kind of like if it's a relationship, it's very one-sided, and it's like they're in and out. They're never in the picture. You expect a lot from them, and they promise a lot, or they keep promising a lot, but they don't really follow through. And I'm almost sensing like a little bit of selfishness, immaturity, selfishness from the other party. There is a sense as well of a geographical distance. That's also what I'm sensing. So this is something, if it was in the past, it's something that ended very, very recently. If not, then it's still happening right now. And I'm almost feeling as if it would be in your best interest to let it go. Okay, so don't hold on to the past. It's going to be in vain, so try to move on from it. What I'm also feeling as well is financially, things are going to be very, very stable for you guys as well. So, just keep working on that and saving up as well. Yeah, we have like very good finance cards. So let me just get all the cards out. Let me see if there's anything else that I picked up earlier. Okay, so on the dating front, you're going to have multiple people. I feel that very strongly, that you might have multiple options. And I feel like the options that you're kind of like grinding away at, that one is not really working out. So it's important for you to at least accept it. If for those of you who are going through it and it sounds familiar and it sounds like it resonates with you, you might want to reassess that situation and see it for what it is. Like, see if it's even worth it. And I feel for a lot of you, it's a relationship, and it might also be like family members, okay, family situations where you have like financial ties with the other person, so you can't find ways to extract yourself completely, but it's going to be in your best interest to do so, because it seems to me like it's going down a downhill trajectory, and that's pretty much the end of the line. It's grinding to a slow halt, and then you're going to pretty much you can't really backtrack by that time. So, try to get yourself out. Okay, so let's talk about this. The first thing here is the family situation. This is significant relationships and family, okay, or at least people that we consider our family. It can be roommates, or it can be people you're living with. No matter what capacity they're in, it's people that you are sharing a space with, or you consider to be your family. We have the Four of Wands, which indicates once again the family unit. This is traditionally the marriage card. And then we have the Death card. So a lot of you are in a situation where you are reassessing where you're living. You're possibly changing your place of your office, your physical office where you work. There might be some shuffling around. You might move in and out of your office, or you might move in and out of your house. On the other end of the spectrum, there might be a significant relationship, and this is a marriage type of situation that have been if they have been very, very rocky, this is pretty much when you're going to go through, it's either going to transform for the better and things can be revived, or it's just going to be left behind for good. I definitely feel because the Four of Wands came in first and then the Death card came in second, this is a situation that requires a coordinated or a concerted effort from both parties. And I feel for a while now, you have been thinking about this and you have been trying to find ways to make it work. If you're dealing with somebody who is not cooperating with you, it's really important for you to reassess and to make sure to make sure that it's worth investing any more time, sweat, and tears are the messages that I'm getting. So there has to be some major transformation, and it has to come through from both parties. Otherwise, it's not going to work, okay? The death card is also traditionally the card of Scorpio. This deals with major transformations in the home unit. So these are things that you need to re-examine. If there are residual like resentment or things that are not balanced out within the home environment, they need to be addressed and they need to be fixed this month. Otherwise, it's going to be very problematic for you, for everybody involved down the line, okay? For those of you who are merely changing homes, changing offices, things are looking very good for you. I feel like this transformation is going to be very positive for you. You might get into a bigger space. I feel you might get into like, for example, if you've been in the basement, you might move up, to an office, corner office with a nice view. There will be a lot of, I feel like if you're moving from a house, you're going to get like, you're going to upgrade to a bigger place, and also in a place where it might be more highly elevated. So, second floor to sixth floor, for example. I feel like there's a place with a better view. There's a place with a better view. There's a bigger apartment, some bigger office. Just it's going to be an upgrade is what I'm trying to say. So it's going to be very positive, Scorpios. I'm trying to see if there's anything else here. The other message that I'm getting here is, don't beat a dead horse. So I feel like if there are innate problems within a house situation, whatever it is you're trying to pick at, whatever it is that you're trying to fix, whatever nice gestures that you're trying to put in to either inject romance in the relationship, I feel like those are like cosmetic changes that you're making to the relationship or to the house environment. And cosmetic changes are very superficial. They don't have any long-term lasting effects. So what I mean is, if you've been, constantly putting in a lot of time and energy to maintain a relationship, and the other person either is, A, very self-absorbed, or B, just not the right person for you, all the amount of work in the world is not going to fix it. So I'm sensing, I feel like you picking at it, like poking at it, and it's best for you to direct your energy elsewhere, okay? Now, in terms of your financial situation, things are looking very good. You've got like a lot of Pentacles card, all positive. First of all, you have the King of Pentacles, and the King of Pentacles denotes to me somebody who is very financially well off. Not only are they able to generate wealth for themselves, they are able to offer very solid advice to other people so that they can help other people achieve financial stability and abundance as well. On the negative side, this is somebody who is very concerned about status, who is very concerned about their public image, and who is very wrapped up in basically financial stability. Now, in terms of your financial situation, you're in a position where you can give out advice to other people. Your word is as good as gold, okay? When it comes to like helping others, or even managing, the practical aspects of life, getting things done in a timely manner, having good work ethics and things like that, you're really on top of the game, okay? You're on top of the heaps, and other people are starting to realize that you're a major asset. So if you've been working at a company, your supervisors and employers are starting to realize that you're a major asset. You're the one that is bringing in the money for the firm. You're working very hard, very diligently, and you're a major asset. So they're starting to realize this. It would be a good month for you as well if you want to negotiate your salary, if you want to get a promotion, if you want to apply for a step up, or apply for a new job as well. Is going to be very favorable for you. Now, in terms of the energy that you're dealing with, we have the King of Pentacles as well as the King of Cups. You're showing up as the King of Cups. It fell out reversed, but I don't read reversals, not with this deck. So what I'm sensing here is this is the person that you are, okay? This is somebody who is very like nurturing, very caring, very emotionally in tune with other people. They always know their motives, and they're like a very helpful person. So I feel like it's almost a veneer that you're putting on. It's sort of like you're like this, you're the King of Cups, but you're trying to play the role of the King of Pentacles, which is not a bad thing. It basically means you're letting your feelings and you're putting all the other things aside because your focus is more on this, how to build up your financial base, how to come across as someone who's very like calculating, not in a bad way, who's very methodical, who's very calculating, and who is very deliberate in their actions so that they can achieve success. So I feel almost as if you're going to be holding your feelings very, very close to your chest this month. You're not going to show people your cards. You're not going to put your feelings, your thoughts, your ideas out there until the other party shows their cards. So that means that you're taking a more practical approach when it comes to business. And there might be as well attraction, flirtation on the business front, on the work front. And it's something to be mindful about. Now, both of these are male energies, and I'm going to do the love readings later. But what I'm sensing just intuitively is you might be dealing with an earth sign, and earth signs are Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. You might also be dealing with a water sign, another water sign, so another Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. I felt like there's somebody in your midst that you're either giving money to, so it could be, like it could be like somebody that, it could be like custody, alimony, or it could be like child support, something like that. And I feel almost like there's a strings attached when it comes to that relationship. It's a weird dynamic, but what I'm feeling is even though there might have been like a separation with that situation, you're still tied in financially. But you work really hard for your assets, for your financial windfall. And I feel like the other party is benefiting from it. So I feel like there might be that kind of imbalance in the power dynamics, okay? But on the work front, things are looking very, very good for you. I feel almost as if the people that you're hanging around with as well, there is also a lot of emphasis on material things. So you might, use material things to either prop up your status, which I don't feel is a bad thing, but just keep that in check. Money is coming through in large quantities, but be rational about how you spend it and about the types of people you're attracting, because if you're like constantly flashing money around, you could attract the wrong attention from the wrong people. But either way, Scorpios, you know who your friends are, and you have good intuition, so I'm not going to dwell on this, okay? In terms of love and romance, we do have the Two of Cups and the Ten of Pentacles. So what tends to happen, and this happens a lot with clients, is whenever I do readings for people, and they talk about the times that they've made a really, really bad decision, is usually because they weren't feeling secure financially, or they weren't feeling secure like with their self-confidence and their sense of self-love. When we are not financially secure, when we're not operating at our best in terms of our confidence level, that's when we make really bad decisions. And likewise, when we are very financially secure, when we're very, very happy with our lives, that's when love relationships will come in, and that's when we're able to attract people who are very good for us, okay? And I went off on a tangent because what I'm trying to say here is we do have here, in terms of love and relationships, the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups is a very harmonious relationship partner that you are drawing into your environment. So this is a card about friendship. This is the card about like socially dating, going out and unexpectedly finding somebody who is like a kindred spirit to you, who can finish your sentence, who understands exactly what you mean. So there is a very strong emotional, possibly even intellectual affinity with you and another person. I almost feel like a sense of sameness, same family, cultural background, same life experiences between you and the other person. And I also feel a lot of love and support is coming through. So going back to what I mentioned earlier, I feel like for a lot of you, you might be in one relationship and there's somebody else in your midst that you're interested in. And because this person is coming into your life and they're so in tune with you and they understand you, it's making you reassess what you're getting out from the other relationship. If the other relationship is very imbalanced and you haven't been made aware of it, the presence of this new person coming through is going to make you realize that, whoa, the other relationship is very unhealthy. Why didn't I see that before? So I feel like the juxtaposition between this relationship and the ones you were dealing with, it's very jarring. It's going to be one of those things where you can't deny it any longer. And the realization is coming through so that you can make some positive changes in your life and to, close some doors. Okay? So overall, it is very positive. Don't fear it. What I'm also getting here is for those of you who are in marriage relationship, there's going to be harmony being restored in the home environment, okay? So it can be in the physical dwelling, or it can be reconciliation with family members. A lot of you might be moving from one house and then going back to a maternal or a paternal family home. A lot of you might be as well. I feel almost like the Ten of Pentacles is a generational wealth type of card. Is things, possessions, that we have built up over the years. It's the accumulation of wealth. And I feel like at this point you are very financially secure and you are looking for that person that you want to build a future with. At the same time, there is potential here to meet a very kindred spirit, somebody that you feel like you've known for a long time. I call this a soul connection card when I do private readings, the Two of Cups, because that's what it feels like. It's like you just meet someone or you just started dating them and you feel like you've known them forever. And you can see them in your future. You can see yourself building a life with them. So overall, it looks very, very good. Both of these cards together indicate a very stable, permanent type of relationship, or a relationship that has the potential to go the whole 9 yards, okay? So it's like in it for the long haul. It has potential for that if that's what you want. So in terms of collaboration, we have some really good cards here for you guys. And it's going to be a really good month, Scorpios. And you've been through a lot within the past 3 years. So I feel like this is going to be like one of those breakthrough months for you where you pretty much know what you're going to do. And you pretty much, you have full access, full control of your life, okay? So group work and interactions. The Three of Pentacles basically indicates some type of collaboration, some type of learning project where all the people are chipping in their ideas so that they can work together to build something of value, to build something based on very specific guidelines, rules, specifications, but they're all collaborating together. No one is working at cross purposes with one another. This is going to be a very other-oriented month, and you are going to have to hear other people's input, but I feel almost like you're the master builder and they're coming to you and they're consulting you so that you can give them advice on how to do something. Once again, I feel more of a financial consultation type of card with you. I don't feel you're seeking advice from other people. I feel that other people are coming to you because you have shown them that you know what you're doing. What's coming from this is that if you are in a situation where you're working with clients, you're self-employed, a lot of clients are going to be seeking you for your expertise. It helps you build up your financial foundation. It helps you get a lot of clients through word of mouth, through spreading your reputation. So it is going to be very, very it's going to be a good opportunity for you to network, to branch out, to work with other people, because that way you can get a lot of referrals. You can get like a lot more clients through the clients that you've worked really hard to build up. Okay, so financially it is going to be a very, very phenomenal month. Okay, so it's like through the roof. You're going to be making a lot of money. You're going to be getting a lot of clients. You're also going to be I feel as well, when it comes to estate planning, you're consulting other people. When it comes to like wills, your own wills, health insurance, things like that, and estate planning, especially when pertaining to property, buying insurance for property, that's where you're consulting other people, but other people are coming in for you for like very succinct, practical guidance when it comes to the job that you do. So you're getting a lot of clients. Now, in terms of your advice, what I'm getting here is I do feel Scorpios. I know that the past 3 years, you have that Saturn return and it's rough. And what it does is that it forces us to grow up. It forces us to re-examine areas in our lives that we're not content with, so that we can, number one, fix it, or number two, let it go. Okay? So I feel like, going back to what I said here, I mentioned that I feel you like poking at something. And I feel like whatever it was, it's kind of like dead and gone, and you're like poking at it because you're still upset. And that's normal. It's normal to be upset and to be angry. But if you're harboring all that resentment and you're not moving on from it, it's going to eat at you. And I also feel like it's also allowing the other person to have control over you. I hope that makes sense. So heal from it, move on. Sometimes when we tell ourselves that, oh, I don't care about that person anymore, but every time you hear their name, you start to feel something. It basically means that you might have some unresolved feelings that you're not honest to that you're not honest with yourself about regarding that person. So that's something for you to really look at. Like, why is it still making you so angry? Why are you still, like picking at it? Okay? And then on the other end is, and I'm saying that mainly because we have the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords is like a hollow victory. It's an empty victory because both sides are hurt. Both sides are destroyed. It's kind of like getting a personal gain at somebody else's expense. So in the greater scheme of things, in a cosmic way, it is an empty victory, because it's sort of like, what are you achieving and at the expense of whom or what? So if you can walk away from a situation without conflict, try to do so. Okay, because it's not going to serve you well to dwell on things and to try to keep poking at things. All right, even though you might be upset, even though you might be hurt. So on the emotional front, it's going to be in your best interest to try to let situations go. Close the doors, close them for good, and don't let the past back in. All right. Um, I almost feel like there's somebody around you, and you have a lot of, I feel like they're bringing with them temptation. Okay, so going back to what I mentioned earlier, you might be with somebody that you're not happy with. There's another person, and the juxtaposition between the two people is showing you the positives and the negatives in your existing relationship. So think of it as a learning experience. Okay, so this new person that's in your life, they might be everything that you want in a partner, but if you already have a partner, you need to take care of that situation first before you do anything with a new person. So don't think of it as, oh wow, this person just fell on my lap, it's meant to be. Well, they're in your life to teach you something. So maybe they're there to teach you that your current relationship is unhealthy. So maybe you need to, figure that out first and sort that out first. And then maybe the new person is gone from your life. So maybe they're there very, very temporarily to do that. I feel like that might be the case. It might not for a lot of you, but either way, take care of your existing situation first before you jump into the new. Because I feel like there is temptation. We have the Ace of Wands, which indicates passion being ignited. We also have the World card, which basically in this deck, it's a woman who is very, very desirable. It is somebody who is very worldly, very well traveled. It is somebody that's bringing in like fresh energy into your life, okay? So I do sense there's an element of temptation. There's an element of wanting something, but once you achieve it, you might find out it's a hollow victory because it's at the expense of somebody else. I hope that makes sense, Scorpios. And I feel like you don't act lightly, but I feel like something is surrounding you. It seems like it's constantly being thrown on your path. And it's easy access. I hope that makes sense. It's a big temptation, but it's also that whole thing about easy access. So the thing here is with that Saturn lesson, it is forcing us to take responsibilities for our actions. And if we haven't learned that lesson, I feel like it's coming back again right now, mainly because of the Mercury in retrograde that's happening the end of this month, so that you can turn the other way and not fall into the trap of temptation. I hope that makes sense, okay? So that's something I feel coming through. A lot of you might be dealing with an earth sign, so Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. I do feel this person is offering something very solid for you. So I do sense that that situation is worth investing in, is worth giving it a chance so that to foster it. That's a good opportunity. But I do sense that you need to finish your own situation. If you're in another relationship, you need to take care of that first before you can jump into anything new. That's just the responsible thing to do. And that's one of Saturn's lessons. So don't be swayed by temptation. I also feel as well, and obviously this is not going to apply to all of you, there's a lot of money. There's a lot of money falling into your lap. And, wealth, money brings problems, okay? And I feel like this is a really powerful, I feel like there's a lot of money, wealth, prestige, power associated with this spread. And going back to what I mentioned for the Scorpio yearly reading, all that glitters is not gold. So if you're letting the impact of money, a lot of money, affect your ego, your self-esteem, it basically means that that lesson wasn't learned during your Saturn return. So if that even resonates with you, really think about it, okay? Don't let your moral compass be corrupted by money. So I'm going to leave it at that because I feel like this is a really heavy, the cards are really good, but I feel like there is some sense of like power and money. This interplay between wealth and money and power is not entirely positive. So you might want to, try to flush that out for yourself because, I'm reading for a lot of Scorpios. So if that resonates with you, it's something that you might want to sit and ponder about, okay? So let's move into the love reading. Just make sure the message is do not let money corrupt or mislead your moral compass, all right? So let's see what's in store for you guys for love, Scorpios. Once again, I'm not going to be reading reversals with this deck. And let's see if any earth sign shows up. So one of the things that I was explaining with the other signs is that I only pick out the cards that fall down if they're face up. And then the ones that stick out, regardless of whether they're face up or down, I pull them out if it's like one card. Oh, so let me turn this around. Okay. So we don't have specific signs that are showing up. We do have specific energies. So the first thing at the center of this spread here is the Ten of Cups. And the Ten of Cups denotes a family completion, like full emotional happiness. This is the apex of the human emotional experience. It is an overwhelmingly positive card. However, like I said, I don't read reversals with this deck. So I feel that, it's right next to the Ten of Swords. So let's just read both of these together. First of all, for those of you who are in married, like coupled, who are married and things like that, this is, once again, I feel like you're doing a lot of reassessment. There's a lot of like power issues in your current relationships, okay? Like control issues, power issues. And it might have to do with, which partner is earning more in the relationship. So once again, do not let money be a major concern, or don't let money dictate the direction of the relationship. For a lot of you, you might be in a relationship where you feel like everything is hunky-dory, but for some reason there might be some type of disconnect when it comes to you and your partner, like seeing eye to eye on everyday things, such as, communications with the Ten of Swords, such as one person. For a lot of you, you might be dealing with a fire sign. Fire signs are Sagittarius, Aries, and Leos, because of the two cards in the same suit, in the suit of the Wands energy. So I feel like it's a timing issue, So for example, you might work separate hours or opposite hours. They might work, let's see. You might work at night, they might work in the morning. And it's really hard for you both to coordinate a time so that you can be intimate with one another. There might also be like a lot of pent up frustration and resentment when it comes to child rearing, for example, because the Ten of Cups indicates a family unit. So there will be children involved. There are practical responsibilities when it comes to, upholding your home, keeping your home nice and tidy, house chores, and the things that we need to do to sustain ourselves. There might be discrepancy, arguments about who's doing what, who's doing their fair share, who's chipping in the home environment. So for a lot of you, I feel like there is imbalances between what you're doing to maintain the household versus what your partner is doing. So there might be some arguments regarding that situation. So just try to get a poster board, write down some tasks, write down responsibilities that you take turns. But more importantly, designate responsibilities, who does what, and then try to be consistent as well. That way it can, lessen the tension within the family. Because I feel like with the Ten of Swords, it seems to me like there might be some resentment, but the 10 is also the end of a cycle. The Ten of Cups is also the end of a cycle. So something is being renewed in this situation, okay? Something is being alleviated here. So you have opportunities to do that. But I would recommend, having like a chore list so that everyone knows what they're supposed to be doing, and that so that it's fair and there's no resentment. I definitely feel an element of time. So this is basically like sunset, early in the morning, possibly another, noon type of, and this is like midnight. So I definitely some timing issue, people working different hours of the night and things like that. It's making it hard for you to emotionally connect to your partner, or at least intellectually, like find a common ground when it comes to the values that you believe in versus the values that your partner believes in. The other thing I'm sensing here is I feel like for a lot of you, it feels a little bit lonely in your marriage. So, do things to spice it up. I feel loneliness mainly because center of the spread, we have, a family, but the surrounding cards are very solitary. The surrounding cards are very, very solitary. All the cards depict just one person. So I do feel like it would be, better for you to try to find a way to mitigate this and, spending quality time together, of course. There's a lot of work related cards here. The Six of Wands is a public image type of card. Don't let power and money get to your head, okay? And especially don't be tempted away from your relationship, because that's not going to go anywhere. That's just a recipe for disaster. So this is a very high power, high status type of card. It's a card about, being in the public eye, having a lot of achievements, getting a lot of recognition for your work. You're in a position where you're kind of like the center of attention. There will be people flocking to you, which can bring about a lot of temptations as well if you're in a coupled or committed relationship. So that's something to be mindful about, okay? The other thing I'm sensing as well, for those of you who are single, dating, single, or if you're in a relationship and you're not, you're not committed. So if you're just dating and you're trying to see where things are headed, I feel like things are going really well right now. You are still very much on the defense, because I feel like a lot of you have been through the ringer in the past. So you're trying to find a way to move forward. I feel there is somebody in your environment who is very, very tempting to you, but for some reason, the way they behave, the way they look, might it might bring up some type of anxieties and fear from your past. And because of that, you're on the defense. So what I'm seeing is this. This is the card about the Empress, and the Empress is a very, very attractive person. This is like the ultimate, ideal partner, because they're caring, loving, attractive. They're very giving of their time, of their energy, of their resources. I don't read reversal, so in the negative sense, it can be someone who's quite frivolous, somebody who can be quite superficial. If it were in the reverse, the Empress is usually somebody who's like, who blows through a lot of money, who likes nice opulent lifestyle, and they don't really lift a finger. They can be a little bit lazy. So I feel like this is, it can be like that. It can go both ways. But what I'm sensing is there is somebody who's very positive in your life, who is very attractive, and you might be attracted to them. But the way they carry themselves, the way that they are, it might remind you of somebody from your past. Or they might have, a lot of suitors, and you are suspecting you're with them and you're happy, but you might be suspecting that you're not the only one. Um, and I feel like that's for those of you who are not in a serious relationship. Now, Scorpios, and I can't believe I'm saying this again, you have really good intuition. If you feel there's something off, it probably is. It probably is. So if you really have to think about why you're feeling a certain way around a certain person. You're a very receptive water sign and perceptive. So if you're feeling like unsettled around a certain person and you don't know why, you might want to, either leave it alone, or at least, try to dig for some information. But I feel like if something is, this is the way I look at life in general. I feel like it's a series of lessons that we need to learn so that we can grow. And you just went through your Saturn transit, like your Saturn Sun transit. And if those lessons have not been learned, they're going to constantly cycle back in until you learn them. Okay? So whatever this situation was, if you feel like you've handled it poorly, This is basically a second chance for you to fix it with another person, but basically you're learning the same lesson but with a different person. I hope that makes sense. So make sure you learn it this time if that's what's going on here, because I feel like there's somebody that you really like, but they remind you of somebody from your past. You're afraid of getting involved with them because, you don't want the repeat. So you're on guard. And the foundation here is that things are going to be okay. You don't need to be on guard because I feel like things are being reciprocated. The feelings are mutual. So it's okay. And we have the Ten of Cups as the central card, meaning you're going to be really, really happy. This is the relationship that has a lot of potential as well. For those of you who are single and dating, I feel like you're on guard, but you have nothing to fear here because this could be the ideal person that you've been waiting for. Because earlier we received the Two of Cups, and the Two of Cups is a very balanced, nice, soothing, strong soul connection type of relationship, okay? So let your guard down. Make sure that you don't carry past emotional pains and heartaches and hurts with you into your new relationship. So treat the new person as a brand new person so that you don't let old energies affect new people. Okay, going back to what I mentioned earlier about poking at something, like just if somebody from your past is invoking such strong negative feelings, maybe you need to sort that out first. Maybe it's not loathing that you feel, but maybe you still have feelings for them. Okay, so either way, it would be in your best interest to try to sort that out. But overall, what I'm sensing as well is those of you who are single and dating, I feel there's a lot of fear about committing. I feel like you've met the right person. I feel like you've met the right person, but you're very fearful about giving it your all. So you're still on the sideline nibbling at life rather than delving back in because you're afraid of getting hurt. Your financial situation is very stable right now. You have a lot of people who are in your midst who are vying for your attention. So you might not want to be exclusive to one person, even though there is one person that's bringing a lot of emotional fulfillment into your life. For those of you who are coupled, I do sense almost like imbalances in the relationship definitely needs to be addressed. And I also feel like you might be walking around, on eggshells around the other person. So you're not kicking up a fuss. So there's almost like that, silent treatment coming through. So, just fix your relationships for those of you who are coupled, okay? Because the Ten of Cups can be very, very happy, but when it's next to the Ten of Swords, I feel like it's very, very high highs and very low lows. So think about, aim for a middle ground, because you can't be happy and healthy if every day is an emotional roller coaster. Okay, so aim for relationships that give you like a middle ground. All right. I wish you the best, Scorpios. If you'd like a private reading, please visit my website. The information is in the description box below. And I believe I am currently booked until the end of the first week of May. So I believe it's like May 8th or 9th or something like that. So if you're booking an appointment through my website, just make sure you are aware of that, because April is completely booked, so it's going to automatically transfer you to May. So be aware of that when you book, okay? Take care of yourself. I will be back for the mid-month reading. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.